Okay, I was trying to search how to enjoy your 9 to 5 on YouTube the other day and hoping that I could get some suggestions. And this is what I find. Your 9 to 5 job is robbing you of your life. Why I will never work a 9 to 5 job again. And everyone is just trying to tell you 9 to 5 is this absolute shit that you should never get into. And no one is really saying any benefit of 9 to 5 or how to actually enjoy it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and make one for you guys. Hi everyone, my name is Angie. Welcome back. I'm glad to see you in another video of mine. If you click the thumbnail and you watch the intro, I would assume that you have a 9 to 5 just like me, or you're about to have a 9 to 5, or maybe even longer hours. I know that everyone is trying to tell you that 9 to 5 is this soul crushing thing that no one ever wants to get into, or like whoever is doing 9 to 5 wants to get out of it as soon as they can. But today in my video, I would like to explore the possibility of liking your 9 to 5 or maybe enjoying it. First of all, I do have a 9 to 5 myself. I'm currently working as a sales account manager in a software company. So yes, my people, I do understand your pain since I'm doing the same thing as you guys. And if you ask me whether I've ever hated my job, the answer is honestly gonna be yes. Like, I hope my boss is not watching it or ever watch it, but yes, I have hated my job for various kind of moment. Definitely not all the time, otherwise I would have just, switched to another job already. And have I ever have the moment that I just wanted to quit my job and then, I don't know, like be an entrepreneur or freelancer and working in a very cool co-working space in Bali or Thailand or wherever? Yes, the answer is gonna be a million times yes. But the thing is, like, I can't really afford just to quit my 9 to 5 on impulse and then switch to a different kind of like lifestyles or work style. Technically you could, but the thing is, it's not that easy. I think you guys all understand that. Like, adulting is hard. Paying your own bills is hard, and being responsible for your life and for your choices and the consequences are hard. And I am risk averse. I think that's a pretty common thing. And then I need a plan for everything. I can't just be like, like do something on impulse and then not consider the consequence. That's just not me. And then of course I would like to potentially quit and then have like a bit of more flexible kind of lifestyle. I was very jealous. I'm still very jealous of those people who are able to work like remotely, flexibly, and who are also able to work for themselves. But it's like I need my 9 to 5 for a bit longer time until like I can comfortably quit and then doing the same something for myself. And I need the 9 to 5 to save up enough to have an emergency fund and to have like the safety cushion, to prepare for the moment that I'm just gonna quit and then do something for myself. So instead of like, just hating my 9 to 5 or like feeling so frustrated about it every single day, I feel like I could change my mindset and to enjoy it and like it a little bit more. And I do want to share the tips of how to do that with you guys as well. And so first I would like to kind of explore the other side of the problem. So let's see what's the disadvantage to be self-employed or to be a freelancer. I think the first one, the number one, money wise, it's just your income is very unstable, and this one is pretty self-explanatory because you yourself are solely and fully responsible for your paycheck. And the second, which is time wise, like as a freelancer or entrepreneur, you don't necessarily follow a 9 to 5 kind of timetables anymore. And then you don't really just have like a 5-day working week. You could be working very long hours or like 7 days a week, and then it will be very hard for you to not think about work because it's just, like, since you're the only one responsible for your work, so it's very hard for you to kind of separate work life and like relaxing life, leisure life. I'm hoping it's making sense here. And the third is, benefit wise. So when you're being a freelancer or self-employed, you're basically missing out on all the benefits that 9 to 5 could offer to you, like health insurance and like company plans and dental plans and like company contribution to your retirement plan. Paid vacation, yes, you will kind of missed out to all of those benefits. And the fifth one is, no, I think this, yeah, the fourth one is taxation wise. So the tax season is coming up. I think you guys are pretty much, like preparing your documents for that. And taxation is already, complicated for someone who has a 9 to 5, and then imagine you have to do taxation as a self-employed. That's like a whole nother area that people are having troubles with. And the last one I would say is mindset wise. So I know that because as a self-employee, there are a lot of things you have to think about. There are a lot of things you have to worry about. Maybe when you're having a 9 to 5 job, you only need to take care of like one sector of your responsibility, or you're essentially just doing one sector of like the business. But when you're employing yourself, like, you have to think about everything from A to Z. I'm not gonna say that, having a self-employed job will necessarily give you more stress, or to create more mental issues compared to a 9 to 5, because it really depends on what kind of jobs you are doing, and then what kind of industry and then services you're offering to other people. But then it would definitely be a bit more challenging in a way to be self-employees and to take care of a lot of things. So I think mindset wise, like, it's like having the kind of lifestyles and work style as an entrepreneur is not really for everyone. And also there's something that is very popular on the internet right now, which is the hustle culture. It's something that I personally don't really appreciate it, because I feel like everyone has their own priorities and they have their way to define successful. You can't just say that being successful is to have a lot of money and be famous. Like, you can't just say that could be considered as being successful by default, because everyone's definition is different. So just by saying that you should hustle, you should focus all of your energies and time and whatsoever on working and earning money and then retire early, it's not really a path for every single person. But I just don't want to get into that, like into too much details of that. I feel like that could be another video, like create an out of it. This video is supposed to focus on how to change your mindset and enjoy your 9 to 5. So let's jump into that, shall we? I would say the first one is very important. The first step to enjoy what you're doing at your 9 to 5 environment is not to view it as just a paycheck. And this is very much important. I know that a lot of people do 9 to 5 in a way that they see it like there's no way out, or they have to do it, or they just see it as like their only source of income, which can be very draining. And I mean, if you have that kind of mindset, your 9 to 5 can be like very dreadful. And if you have that kind of like, my job is only a paycheck, if you have this kind of mindset, it's very obvious to other people who are interacting with you, like your family, your co-workers, your boss, and like your clients. And just take a very simple example. If you go to a coffee house and you're being served by someone who just treat their jobs as a paycheck, like, you will notice that right away, and then it's very obvious, and then you probably won't want to go back to the coffee house again because of their attitude, or because of they're not being so professional. So just change that mindset. Is like, I think it's the first step of you like accepting your job and then start to like your job. And the second tips would be trying to enjoy all the learning and growing opportunities with your current job. And the thing is, like, you might not, like, your job that you're doing right now might not be your true passion. And the thing is, like, a lot of people are not really lucky enough to like turn their hobbies or turn their true passions into paychecks. Maybe because a lot of them don't really know what their true passions are. I mean, at least that's the case for me. I'm still trying to figure out. Or sometimes we just simply can't really turn our hobbies into a paycheck. You know, maybe like the money is not really enough. So, but it doesn't really mean that like the job that you're doing right now is useless. Because I always hear people complaining something like, oh, like, you know, my job is just useless. Like, I'm not really seeing myself going anywhere. But are those statements really accurate? I mean, I really can't think of any job that like you could learn absolutely nothing from. Like any single job has like something to offer you, maybe some more, some less, but it's like if you're trying to change yourself a little bit and then see a lot of day-to-day tasks as like a learning opportunity, and if you do take the responsibility of learning more stuff or of like venturing to different kind of area, not just your day-to-day routine, and then you will feel like, you know, your days can like your 8 hours of work can be a lot more like productive, and then you can potentially, you know, like develop other interest or other area that you wanted to kind of venture in the future. So that's why I say that number two is just kind of like take advantage of all the learning opportunity you have with your current job. The third tip is to realize that you're not actually stuck. And I feel like a lot of people kind of like not realizing that, because I know that your current job might not be ideal, but in a way that no one is really forcing you to work for this company or like to stay here forever, you know what I mean? I know that in the early part of this video I mentioned that we can't really just afford to quit our jobs like this on impulse, but it doesn't really mean that you cannot apply for other jobs or like, you know, switch to another five. Like, yes, it might be very hard for you just to be like entrepreneur like overnight, but no one is really stopping you to like look for other jobs and apply for other jobs and then quit this one when you have another one already kind of like prepared. So you can definitely do that. And it's just like, I know everyone has like bills to pay and they definitely need like a kind of source of income, but you shouldn't just really, you know, like restrict your happiness because you feel like you're tying down to this job and you absolutely have to stay here. It's entirely up to you whether you would like to stay with this company in the long run. And I just feel like realizing you're not really stuck with the job and then you can always explore other opportunities whenever you feel like it is very key to not see your 9 to 5 as like something absolutely horrible. And the fourth tip, which is the last one, is to try to start with something small. And I mean, like, it's something I realized myself that my mood at a 9 to 5 job can be easily influenced or improved by like tiny little details. Like if I happen to, you know, like work on a very interesting project today, like my mood will be different. So if you do something like prepare your lunch or just like go to your favorite restaurant downstairs with your coworkers and have a good chat during a lunch break, or like having your favorite playlist prepared when you're on a bus, or, you know, like when you're going to the work and then you can just listen to your favorite song throughout the day, like tiny little things like that really kind of make it a bit easier for you to, I wouldn't say survive for 8 hours at work, but it's like, you know what I mean, like just to make the days at work like quicker or like happier. And I'm not like, you know, like I'm not asking you to be like finding your true passions and then turn your passions into your paycheck like right away. And I'm not asking you to just work with the people that you actually enjoy working with, because those are the concepts or like the elements you have most likely no control of. But then what is the point of like worry about something that you cannot control, right? Like, why not we just focus on the part that we can actually control and then trying to make our 9 to 5 a little bit more enjoyable and colorful. And then you could always start like something on the side for your own, like, you know, like you can, like for example, I'm trying to test out YouTube on the side while I'm having a 9 to 5 job, and you can have definitely your own side hustles. And then I know a lot of people do that, like they do something on their own, and then once they're comfortable with their side project, and then once their side project generate enough income, they can quit at a comfort level and they just turn their side job into your full-time job, and then you will be happily generating income over that, and then it will be a good time to say goodbye to your 9 to 5. So that's pretty much it about this video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!